Welcome to the session on Educational Psychology, Module 3, Session 21. The objective of this session is to understand intrinsic motivation. By the end of this session, you will be able to learn the meaning and importance of intrinsic motivation. Let us first start off with defining what is intrinsic motivation. It has been hailed as the most effective way of psychologically motivating oneself to push boundaries and achieve something. It is the motivation to make something without the incentive of receiving any external rewards. Intrinsic motivation involves doing something where you want to excel in only for the sheer joy and excitement you receive while working on it. When a person is internally satisfied with when he or she overcomes the challenge associated with a particular task which he or she performs, that forms the very essence of intrinsic motivation. To get an idea about what intrinsic motivation is, let us break it down and understand what the word means. Intrinsic actually means. Intrinsic refers to something that is internal or comes from within. Quite evidently, intrinsic motivation refers to the motivation that comes from within and not from any external inputs. This motivation comes out of the satisfaction one experiences while carrying out a particular task and overcoming hurdles that are associated with it. It is not done out of any expectation of receiving an external reward, but comes from one's deeply founded interest in that particular task or assignment. We will now discuss some factors behind intrinsic motivation. Firstly, curiosity. The satisfaction of one's curiosity drives us to explore the many avenues that come with a particular work and learn about them just for the sake of attaining pleasure in learning and mastering. The second factor is challenge. Setting challenges and short goals aid us to work at our maximum efficiency to achieve those meaningful goals. The third factor is control. This comes from our intrinsic aspiration to be in control of the possible outcomes and placing ourselves in the driving seat when it comes to making decisions that affect the outcome. The fourth factor here is recognition. We reserve an innate desire to be appreciated and feel a sense of accomplishment when our efforts receive the desired attention and appreciation by others. The fifth factor is cooperation. Cooperation with others imbibes a sense of belonging towards your peers or your team. One feels extremely satisfied when one helps others and works collectively to achieve a shared goal. The next factor is competition. A sense of competitiveness creates a challenge for one and increases the validation and reasoning we place on doing well and achieving something. The last factor here is fantasy. The basic definition of fantasy includes implementing mental or virtual images to stimulate one's behavior towards particular work or a task at hand. One proper example of this scenario is a virtual game that requires you to provide an answer to a question or solve a particular problem and overcome hurdles to move on to the next level. Some motivational applications use a similar approach to imbibe a sense of accomplishment. We will now look into some examples of intrinsic motivation to understand it better. Participating in an extracurricular activity because one reserves a deep interest in that and wants to perform well just out of sheer passion and not out of any overlying compulsion. Another example is learning another subject because the matter of the question sparks an inner curiosity that needs immediate satisfaction. Spending time with a person whose company you dearly enjoy and not just out of any social compulsion is another example. The fourth example here is exercise out of the drive to keep oneself fit and well and not out of any pressure to lose weight and improve one's image in front of people. The last example is bearing responsibility in any collective way, to feel the thrill of overcoming any challenge rather than expecting for a better recognition among your peers or any imminent promotion at work. Summarizing the session covered the meaning of motivation and the importance of intrinsic motivation through different examples and the factors that are responsible for intrinsic motivation. Here are some references to explore these concepts further. Thank you.